So, Julius Caesar. You definitely know the name, right? One of the most iconic figures in all of history. But in Shakespeare's hands, he becomes something more, a tragic hero. Today, we're going to deconstruct the man behind the legend. And this is especially for all of you ICSE students gearing up for your exams. Okay, so picture the scene. In the Rome of this play, Caesar isn't just a man, he is a phenomenon. He returns from war as a living legend, a figure that people see as almost godlike. His power feels absolute. He's this colossus, and the whole world, it seems, is living in his shadow. But this is a Shakespearean tragedy, and that means a great rise is almost always followed by an even greater fall. So what went wrong? What was the fatal flaw? What was it about this incredible man that led him to his bloody end on the Senate floor? That's the big question we're answering today. All right, here's our game plan. We'll look at the political stage in Rome, then dive deep into Caesar's pride and power, uncover the man behind the myth, relive his dramatic final moments, and finally, wrap it all up with exactly what you need to know for your exams. Let's get into it. So we're dropped right into a really tense, politically charged Rome. Officially, it's a republic, but Caesar's immense power has a lot of people whispering, does he want to be king? And that conflict right there, between the public that adores him and the powerful who fear him, that's what drives the entire play. Now, to really understand Caesar, you have to understand the genre. This is a classic Shakespearean tragedy. That means we're looking for the hero's hamartia. It's a fancy word for that single critical flaw that brings his whole world crashing down. So let's put on our detective hats and find it. So let's get into the man himself. We'll start with the two things everyone in Rome sees: his incredible authority and his, well, equally incredible pride. Caesar's authority is absolute. I mean, remember when Antony says, when Caesar says, do this, it is performed. That is not an exaggeration. His word is law. It literally shapes reality in Rome. And that kind of power makes him a hero to the masses and a mortal threat to the Republic. And then, right in the middle of his big parade, we get this: a direct, chilling warning from a soothsayer. This is our first real sign that maybe supernatural forces, maybe fate, are at play here. It's a clear and present danger, spoken right out loud for everyone to hear. And what's Caesar's response? He doesn't just ignore it, he scoffs at it, dismissing the man as a dreamer. This is our first huge clue to his fatal flaw. This isn't just confidence, it's pure arrogance. He believes he's untouchable, completely above the whispers of fate. And the warnings just keep coming. This time, it's way more personal. His wife, Calphurnia, has a terrifying nightmare and begs him to stay home. And for a second, he actually listens. But then Decius Brutus shows up, flatters him, and cleverly reinterprets the dream as a good omen. Suddenly, Caesar's fear of looking weak is stronger than his fear of death. And this is key. His pride doesn't just make him blind, it makes him dangerously easy to manipulate. This leads us to one of Shakespeare's biggest clues about Caesar's character: the massive, massive gap between the public myth and the private man. The contradiction is just stunning. In public, right before his death, Caesar declares he's constant as the northern star, unchanging, unique, basically a god. But in private, we hear from Cassius how he once cried for help like a sick girl. We know he suffers from epilepsy. The public image is this divine force, but the private man is frail and mortal. So you see, everyone sees a different Caesar. Cassius sees a weak man he resents for being so powerful. Brutus, on the other hand, actually loves Caesar, but is terrified of what absolute power could turn him into. And the people, they just see their hero and are ready to make him king. Notice that the conspiracy isn't about what Caesar has done, but what Brutus fears he might do. So all of this, the pride, the warnings, the fear, it all leads us to the Capitol on the Ides of March. This is the moment where everything changes. And then the line that echoes through history: Et tu, Brute? You too, Brutus? After all the other stabs, it's the sight of his most trusted friend among the assassins that finally breaks Caesar's spirit. Now, the crucial point here is that this line is not just about shock. It signifies a deeper realization. If his best friend, the honorable Brutus, believes he must die, then Caesar accepts his fate. It's the emotional wound, the betrayal, that truly kills him, not just the daggers. His spirit is defeated before his body even gives out. Okay, let's crystallize all of this into the key points you'll want to remember, especially when you're writing about Caesar for your exams. Caesar's character isn't just a part of the story, it's like the key that unlocks all the major themes. His ambition fuels the whole debate over the public good. His power is the catalyst for betrayal, and his choice to ignore every single warning is the perfect case study for fate versus free will. He truly is the pillar the entire play is built around. All right, time for a quick check. Of these traits, which one is most responsible for his downfall? While his weaknesses and his relationship with superstition are important, it all comes back to his pride. His pride is what makes him ignore every single warning, from the soothsayer to his own wife. His pride is what makes him fatally vulnerable. So let's lock in these key takeaways. First, Caesar is a man of contradictions, a public god, but a private man. Second, his tragic flaw is his pride, his hubris, and it blinds him to all the warnings. Third, remember his death isn't the end, it's the event that unleashes chaos on Rome. And finally, the secret to a great essay: always back up your points with quotes. And that brings us to our final question, the one that lies at the very heart of this tragedy. Were the gods and prophecies in control all along? Or did Caesar's own arrogance and pride lead him straight to the conspirators' knives? That's the question Shakespeare leaves with us. And now, it's the one you get to explore.